right, let's do this. What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome to episode number 3 of Coffee is for Closers. Yep, that's right. We drink coffee. Check out my new mugs, the Pitch Queen mug and my hat. So Amy, who you saw in the behind the scenes on Instagram, all you guys over there, we got these on Etsy. So I thought they were super cute, and I'll be doing a giveaway today. So keep your eyes peeled here and ears open, right? So, the theme of this month has been really all about building relationships, building rapport, and really how do you keep those relationships going? How do you increase your revenues in your business? How do you, meet new people when you're out and about? And that's what I would say I think I'm really great at. And every week, we're here Monday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. So if wherever you're at in the world, make sure to join in on Instagram for all you guys over there and everyone on Facebook over here to, really understand what it takes to really grow your revenues in your business, or maybe what it takes to raise money. Or maybe it's like, you've got this influencer you want to meet and you have no idea what you want to say to them, how you're going to say it, how you're going to reach out to them. And really this is about, figuring out how to do that the best way. So today I've got for you some really cool slides. So I'm going to show you my screen and we'll get started for the day. Also, if you've got comments, questions, I would love for you to put them in the comments below, because Q&A is my favorite. So question and answers are great. Amy will be rocking the Q&A box. And, real quick also before I start, huge thank you to Screw You. For all entrepreneurs out there that want to do something in the online space, Jill and Josh are awesome. And this community of people has been amazing. And if it wasn't for you, John Lee Dumas, I would have never known about it. And, I know you guys have heard me talk about John a lot, but it's all about building that relationship. And I'll go into a little bit of it today, but it's a trickle-down effect. Because I met John, I met Pat Flynn. And Pat and I did an interview for my podcast last week, which I can't wait to tell you guys about my podcast I'm launching in just a few weeks, hopefully. There's a lot of work for that, too. You would think doing a Facebook Live show and a podcast would be a piece of cake, but it's a little bit more challenging than that. But anyone can do it if you put your mind to it and take action. So thank you, John. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Josh. And thank you for everybody else who wants to give me a heart, a thumbs up. And we'll get started. That's my beautiful backdrop. All right, so you guys can see the slides now. So we'll go back to the top. And again, you're watching Coffee is for Closers Facebook Live show. For all you guys on Instagram, we'll put a link into the notes or comments for these slides. So if you want them, you can have them. I share everything. So the first thing you need to do when building relationships and building rapport with somebody is you really need to pay attention to what you're talking about and what the other people are talking about. And what I like to say is, if you're on the phone with someone, use the mute button. Let them talk. I think a lot of times when you're really passionate about your products, you're really passionate about your service, you end up over talking and interrupting the people that hopefully will potentially be your future clients. So you really want to pay attention to what they are talking about. What do they enjoy doing? I'll give you an example. I was just on the call today with one of our potential clients who's going to be in my friend Dominique's program. She really wants to grow her CPA practice. And for the first 5 minutes, we talked about what she did this past weekend. She said she was on the lake. And I was like, oh, she told me last week when we spoke that she wanted to make more money to build a dock. They have this beautiful lake, a boat, but they don't have a nice dock that goes out into the lake. You know what I'm talking about? And we talked about that for 5 minutes, because truly that's what she's most passionate about. That's where she gets joy in her life. That's where, if she were to work harder, that's where she would know that the value of spending 3 months learning from Dominique and learning all of the things that could better her practice would be worth it for. So I really was paying attention very, very closely to the important things. For some people, depending on what type of businesses you guys are helping, in my last business, it was food. I wasn't helping people grow their revenues in their business, right? I was helping people maybe lose weight, get more energy, not feel so fat and sluggish, have no time to cook. So those types of things are what I was listening for those customers. But depending on your audience, you really need to see what's important to them. So when I'm working with Dominique and her clients, some of them, money is very important. But some, it's like working 3 or 4 days a week versus working, I don't know. Some of them, I spoke to one person today and she works 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. That to me sounds exhausting. So if I have a better solution for her, I want to hear and stop talking and listen to what the other person says. So my number one thing for you is to really figure out and pay attention to what the other person on the other end is saying and what's important to them. Their frustrations at work maybe. A lot of times people are, at a job and they're not doing their own thing. So you have to really find out what's important. Maybe it's family, maybe it's their vacations. There's a couple of people I've talked to that never have taken a vacation in 2, 3, 4 years. That's not good. So stop talking, listen to what's important to your other clients, and you'll figure it out from there, and you'll know exactly what to say and when to say it. My biggest tip, which is down below for you guys, is to take detailed notes. You can't remember everything from every person if you don't take notes. So I have a notebook. I've got a bunch of notebooks, but they look like this. They're yellow pads, and I take a ton of notes in them. You can see it. It's like chicken scratch. But it's really, really important to take notes. And the reason why is that you just won't remember the details. And I can't stress it enough. The details are what's most important to your future clients, potential clients, maybe your current clients. I also work with a lot of dietitians for all my dietitian clients out there. Hey guys. And, with some of them, it's their family life's the most important. We work with a lot of professional teams, like right now it's baseball. And with some of the dietitians, the most important thing for them is they're about to have a baby in their family. And yeah, they're working 60, 80 hours a week with these pro guys, and they got a, dietitian job in Major League Baseball, in the NFL. But really what's important to them is their family life. So if I call up, let's say, Stephanie or any of you ladies out there, I want to talk to you about what you did in your rest time, because some of you are working 7 days a week at times. If the teams are on the road, it's like that kind of position doesn't really stop. So it's like, let's take a step back. And Ryan, one of our dietitians I work with, she's in Tampa Bay. She said, Michelle, I love what you're doing because people are forgetting about the relationship part. And I was like, oh my God, this is the best email I've ever gotten. I said, thank you so much, Ryan, for sending it. And she's like, no, it's so needed and it's so true. So all of you guys who want to grow your businesses online, grow your brick and mortar stores, do anything. It's all about these relationships. And we've been talking about it for 2 weeks, and today's our 3rd episode on this topic, but I can't tell you that this is the foundation of everything. And with those dietitians that I am working with, they realize it. They know it. They can feel it. I genuinely care. And my partner, Scott, does too, who works with them, because we love what we do. And when you love what you do, the other people on the other end can feel it and they know it. So my tip is take detailed notes on all of your really important clients. Write it down. Maybe put it in your notepad, on your phones. You've got this, I use this, the notes section. You know that? I don't know if you can see it, but the notes section on your phone, write out each person's name and maybe 5 things that are important to each person. Maybe one of your clients is pregnant. Write down the due date. Maybe they're about to go on a trip to Africa. Write down the date they're going on the trip so you can follow up with them. Or if you guys were with me last week, Emily Page talked about sending different articles related to topics that they tell you. So if I have a potential client or a current client who's like, oh, Michelle, I'm going to be going on a trip to Africa, and I see an article on Africa, maybe I'll send it to her or him. You're always thinking about that person as if they're like your best friend. And some of them become your best friends, So that's that. Again, take detailed notes, grab a sip of coffee. We are on the show called Coffee is for Closers, so. All right. Tend to talk a lot here, right? All right, so the next major thing is consistency. Consistency is everything. It's not only important, but I would say it's like that glue that makes everything stick. This is how you can set yourself apart from the competition. Let's say you are a Facebook ad strategist. Amanda Bond, right? Amanda, if you're watching, by the way, Amanda's going to be on my podcast, so keep your ears open, not eyes. It's an audio only. It'll be on iTunes. But Amanda is a Facebook ad strategist. The reason why she is so successful is because she is consistent. She does a Facebook show. She does webinars. She educates. But consistency is key. If you're not consistent every single day in anything you do, someone else is going to, that potential client or customer is going to be noticed by somebody else. And they're going to jump ship because you weren't consistent. You weren't always showing up. So on the front end of when you're trying to cultivate a new customer or a new influencer or a new prospect or a new big client like Emily was talking about last week, you've got to be consistent. So let's talk about some of the things that you can do to be consistent. You got to set aside time every day to do this, all right? Or maybe once a week, depending on your audience. You don't want to bombard them, but these things work, trust me. So talking with your clients and prospects. You can either choose to do this every day, once a week, once a month, or maybe every couple months, depending on what type of client that you're working with. So I'm going to give you examples of what I do with the dietitians I work with in the NFL, Major League Baseball, and the NBA. I follow up in 3 different ways. One is email. So once a week, once every other week, I'll send them an email. Check in, say hi, how's it going? I'm not talking about what we're selling. They already know what we do. I'm just checking in. I'm being consistent and showing up, okay? The other thing is a text message. Again, I would relate it to something like on the previous slide that was important to them. So, right, you pay attention to what they're talking about. You've written down your notes. Let's say I'm on the phone with somebody or I'm texting them. Hey, Stephanie, how's the pregnancy going? How many more weeks do you have due? 10 weeks? Oh my gosh, I hope you're feeling better. I hope you have a lot of energy. I can't wait to see the pictures. I am not talking about what I'm selling. I'm not pushing anything. I have a genuine interest in something that she's told me in the past. Or like my Africa example, hey, here's the picture of the safari tour. I heard it was really good from so-and-so. So if that were the case, then I would send via text a message on Africa. Okay, got it? So we've emailed, we've texted. The third one is my favorite. You got to pick up the phone. I don't know what's happened in the last 10 years, but everything's gone to texting, instant messenger, right? But for those of you that are working with very big accounts or high-end clients or big retailers, something of that nature, the texting and the email will not get you there. Let me tell you, it just won't. You have to pick up the phone and call. So I consider all of the Major League Baseball teams we work with, like right now we're working with the Blue Jays, we're working with the Rangers, we're working with the Rays, we're working with the Orioles, we're working with the Yankees. These are big clients. They don't want to be texted. They don't want to be emailed. They want a personal connection, a personal phone call, just like Ryan had emailed me like, Michelle, this is so awesome. And my mission for you is to start picking up the phone once you get a phone number. That can also be a little bit tricky, so we'll go over that too. But really, you've got to try something new. And, you've got to get out of your comfort zone. And let me just go back to the video real quick. You've got to get out of your comfort zone in picking up the phone. That's really where the gold is. That's really where you're going to get a lot of dollars in your future, because that's where personal connections come in. And, for those of you that know me personally, like Sean Croxton and Kathy and all my really, really close friends, you guys know how much I just kind of hate texting all the time. Imagine your personal relationships and business as the ones like your friends. You've got to pick up the phone sometimes and call them. It's just how it is. And trust me that if you're going after a big account, like all of our baseball teams, they're spending anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000 per game. That's how much they're spending in food spend. That's a big deal. That deserves a phone call. If you're selling something that's more like off a webinar or, something more broad product, then picking up the phone could be like doing a webinar or something really, really personal with somebody. However, the phone, I'm telling you, it's where it's at. I always like to say an email and a text message is not a dialogue. It's called a monologue. So if you get an email from somebody or if you get a text, you can interpret it like 50 different ways, right? However, when you're on a phone with somebody, there's a conversation going back and forth. And Amy over here, we've had this discussion. And I've told her, if you're unsure, pick up the phone. If you've got an important message that you want to get across to a client, a prospect, a customer, whatever it is, you've got to pick up the phone because you just don't know how that email is going to come across, right? What if they're having a bad day and they're like, I'm not a fan of this. So also, you guys, I'm going to give away one of these hats. See these hats? They're cute, right? For guys, they're really awesome. They're not only cute, but they're really hip. Anyway, if you type in show in the notes below, and if you share this post with all your friends, I'll choose one person at the end of the show, and I'll send you a hat. We'll get your address later. All right, so back to my slides so you guys can see them. Do you like my slides today? They're a lot better to see, right? Amy, any questions so far? The best thing to sell online. For whoever asked that question, I'm going to get to that in about probably 10 to 12 minutes, okay? So stay tuned. I want to keep going through those 3 things that you need to do in order to follow up with your prospects, clients. So just to summarize, maybe it's a text once a week, once a month, once every other month, once every 3 months. You choose based on your audience. Number 2, email. I would stagger it. So if you texted 1 week, wait a week, and then email. If you're on an every other month situation, then you're going to text 1 month, email the next month. And if you're on a 3 month, maybe it's a text and an email every 3 months. I think that's good. Phone calls. Whenever you text and email, you're going to do a phone call. So if today is your texting or email day, you also want to pick up the phone and call. Everyone gets a ton of emails. Like I've unsubscribed to 100 things in the last couple weeks. They get lost. Text messages get lost too. I have a couple of friends that get 20, 40, 50 text messages a day. I have no idea how you even organize that. That would give me anxiety attack. But a phone call, you get to leave a personal message. You can, they're going to see a missed call. And you can leave a voicemail. So actually a phone call has 2 benefits. You get to see a missed call on the other end, and you get to leave a voicemail. Extra perk. Lastly, if you don't schedule it, it's not going to happen. How many of you agree with me on that? Raise your hand in the comments below. You can put the little emoji up like that. But really, If you don't schedule it, it's never going to happen. If I don't schedule to make these beautiful slides with Amy and put together that checklist, if you go on my Instagram stories, you can see this awesome checklist that we made. Here, I'll show it to you. You see that? If we didn't do any of that and schedule it, this would never happen. To do a Facebook Live show, to do a podcast, to produce any of your products, to create a product, to start an online business for whoever's waiting over there, you've got to schedule it. You've got to plan. And if you don't plan and you don't schedule, you're probably bound for failure, right? So to do this, you've got to put in your calendar. I use the iCal on the Mac. You can use Google Cal, whatever, but block out groups of times. Like for 2 hours on this day, I'm going to text, email, and make phone calls to these top 20 prospects. Okay? So for you, I suggest you go and schedule this stuff. It'll work, promise. All right, next slide. Bring out their success. I love this one. Oh, wait, did I skip one? I skipped one. Did I skip one? No. All right. So we're going to bring out your client success, prospect success, influencer success. It doesn't really matter what it is, but it's not about you. It's all about them. And that's the most important thing. If you support your clients and customers, they will reciprocate you with the following. And this just happened to me. With my friend Dominique, that you guys know, I help her enroll people into her program for CPAs to help them grow their businesses. And she's probably the best instructor in the U.S. for tax planning. And Anastasia, if you're watching, I'm going to say thank you. But Anastasia and I, we've never met. We've actually just had 1 hour phone call. We've gone back and forth on email. And what was really cool is she was even at Tony Robbins this past week at Unleash the Power Within in New York, and she sent me photos. I thought that was awesome. She sent me 2 sets, so thank you for sharing. I had a lot of friends there, actually. And what's really cool about Anastasia is she said, Michelle, I have someone who I think would be really great for the program. I'd love to refer them to you. How do I go about that? And I said, you know what? All you have to do is send me her email, and I'll send her an email to book an appointment with me, and I'll see if she's a good fit for us. And in addition to that, we reciprocate to her because we even pay $500 a referral. So referrals are a great way for not only you to help more people, but for your people that are referring you if you've got a good incentive for them. She was going to refer someone to us no matter what, but the incentive was that she was going to get $500, so I surprised her with that, and she was ecstatic. So if you listen to your customers and provide them service, provide them value, help them out, it's only going to benefit you in return. And one of my friends, Garen, I mean, he's like in the top 1% of Herbalife, right? He's probably got 400 or 500 people. I don't know. He sent me a picture of all the people that work with him and his team underneath him. I guarantee you, and we can ask him that in the comments below. He'll probably respond to us. But I bet you Garen probably gets 80% of the people that work with him by referrals because he listens to them, he helps them, he provides them value, he helps them with their personal development. It's not even about the products. It's really about helping the person. For those of you with an online business that sell a product, getting reviews from your clients, getting reviews from your people with testimonials. In my last company, I would have them do a video testimonial, like literally just take your phone, do a video testimonial like this, and email it to me, and I'll highlight it on our website. People like to do that. However, I also added an incentive. I said, if you do this, we'll give you $25 off your next order. Reviews and testimonials take you a long way. You'll get more people to sign up with you. It'll help bring credibility to you. It'll also show success. Let's say you have my friend Amy, she's got a skincare line, right? If she gets a lot of testimonials on her website about how great her skin products are, right? Well, then maybe Julie will want to buy it when she goes online. So reviews and testimonials are great. It also creates loyalty. Testimonials from people who just started with you, who've had your products for 6 months, who've had their, products or service for a year. That helps with loyalty. So I'll give you an example, like with the dietitians I work with. So remember I said I worked with 5 or 6 of them consistently right now with baseball. Loyalty is that I've known these people for some of them 8 to 10 years. It's quite a while. But they've been so loyal to me that now if they are in a hunch, they have a problem, they're in a city with really, really bad food, and we can help them, they know that they can call me and we will help them because we've been so loyal to one another and they've been a client for such a long time. So loyalty really gets you really far away. Now with a new client like Anastasia, I have a relationship with her now. I'll get a testimonial maybe, in a couple weeks or a month. And then I want another one from her in a year from now because that shows that if you're loyal with us, you do get the results. So it's really great. Now, my tip to you and what you need to put into action this week is to ask. And I think this is where 95% of people miss the mark. If you don't ask, you're never going to get any of this. I ask our clients for referrals all the time, be it with Dominique, be it with the dietitians. Hey, tell your friends about our services. If you are happy, someone else is going to be happy too, because on the dietitian side, they don't have to coordinate food anymore. They don't have to worry about it. They don't have to stress. We do the Whole Foods runs. We get green juices for the guys. We do acai bowls. We take care of everything. That's like a huge stress relief for them, A lot of the dietitians in Major League Baseball are working with the major leagues, with the minor leagues. They have so much work to do, it's crazy. So if we can eliminate some of that stress and some of that pressure to provide, an awesome service, why not? And they will tell their friends, but you have to ask. So I would make a list of 5 people that you can ask for a review, for a referral. Try to get some in video. Just a selfie one on the iPhone is good. You don't want any high-level production. We just want really natural reviews. And loyalty comes with time, okay, guys? It's not going to happen overnight. So bring out their success. It's all about the clients. Have them tell you why you were awesome and what it did for them. All right, my next big thing for you guys is why is maintaining strong relationships so important? So let's grab a sip. Remember, you're supposed to come with water, tea, coffee, smoothies, a beer, a margarita, whatever is your cup of tea. Amy, how are we doing on time? 1:30. All right. I always talk so much, you guys. Are you enjoying it? Type in show in the notes below. Remember, I'm giving away a hat. One of these. Cool, right? They're really cute. Have you used Etsy before? Etsy's got some really cute stuff. So we got some hats, we got tanks, we got mugs. So we're going to be doing some giveaways. But again, type in show below. I've got a guide on how to build relationships and rapport. So you'll get that as well. And, just type in show and share this with your friends. And we'll pick one person to give a hat away to. So why is maintaining strong relationships important? Well, let me share. You have a 5 to 20% probability of selling to someone brand new, okay? If you're really, really, really good and borderline expert, it's probably a lot higher. However, you have a 60 to 70% of probability of selling to a current prospect that you have a relationship with already. And these are actual statistics from marketing metrics. Now, the dietitians that I work with, I've known for 8 to 10 years. Let's see, Amanda Carlson, you and I have known each other since freshman year of college. We go way back. Now, some of the people we sell to now with Dominique, I know them for about 45 minutes to an hour. That's a new prospect. But again, if you listen to them, you build rapport, you build relationship, you will have an increase in sales, an increase of revenue, and you'll be changing people's lives left and right. because I hope that everything you guys are selling is really, really good, right? If you don't have something good, this doesn't work for any of that. But if you genuinely care about what you have, the products you sell, the services you sell, you've got an online business, you have an online program, and your online program really, really, really will help change someone's life. It will help you, get your business increase of 100,000 in revenue, whatever it may be. You've got to build the relationship and rapport that will create that long-term relationship for the future that will also increase your sales pretty quickly and rapidly in the beginning. And like I said, with Dominique's clients, some of them we only know an hour. They've watched a webinar and they're enrolling within an hour because they believe that what we have is going to solve their problems, and it always does. We also offer on her programs money-back guarantees. That just shows your confidence in what you're selling and what you're serving people with. So if you've got an online program, you might want to consider that. For the people that have a longer sales cycle, the 60 to 70% probability of selling to a current prospect, again, it's all about that relationship. If you just go back to these 3 things like we talked about in the beginning, pay attention to what they like. What do they enjoy doing? What are their frustrations at work? What are they complaining about? What's not working for them? That's what you want to find out. And the last thing is just take detailed notes, because that's all the stuff you're going to focus on when you do your follow-up. And remember your follow-up? 3 ways: email, text, phone calls. For those of you in the online space, that might be Instagram Messenger, DM, or Facebook Messenger. You can hit people from all different directions. You just need to know your audience and who you're talking to. So again, with the dietitians that I've known for a long time, they're in the bottom percent. They're a current prospect that I've known for so long. So they can pick up the phone and call me a week prior to a game and they're struggling, and I will get it done. My partner and I will take that as a priority over anything else because we have this long relationship. So relationships count. And you don't close a sale. You open a relationship if you want to build a long-term successful enterprise. Patricia said it very, very, very well. I can't agree more. You're not getting sales, you guys. You're building relationships. These types of relationships, unlike personal ones, lead to increased revenue, where personal relationships leads to kids, marriage, and other stuff, right? This is very similar, yet a little bit different. And if you do this right and you stay consistent, consistency is my biggest takeaway for you guys, and scheduling. If you don't schedule to do this follow-up and how to build that relationship, it takes time. And you have to be consistent with it. And consistent, I'm talking like every single week. You have to schedule it. So for those of you watching, thank you so much. For those of you that are going to catch it on the replay, no problemo. And for those of you who are watching right now, if you give some thumbs up, hearts, and maybe even share it with others, we can spread this message to more and more people. Because ultimately, by you guys sharing this, we're spreading the word of things that actually work. I've been doing this for 20 years. It's a really, really long time. So I'll be sharing a lot of stories. We're on every Monday at 1 o'clock Pacific time, give or take a few minutes. But we started on time last week and this week. So congratulations us. I'll give us a pat on the back. And thank you, Amy, for all your help. So let's get to some questions and answers.
The best thing to sell online.
The best thing to sell online. I would say for you to figure out what the best thing for you to sell online is you need to figure out what you're really passionate about. And I have a friend who's got a book that helps you figure out what your why is, or maybe you've heard what your what is. And it's Steve's book. I can't think of Steve's last name right now, but I'll put in the comments later. Or maybe we'll send you a direct message since you're on Instagram. So Amy, maybe we can send him a message. But Steve has an online book called What is Your What is Your Why? And I say that before you can sell anything, you need to figure that out first. Because I am very passionate and I love to help people with sales. It was my gift. I'm just really good at it. I never learned it in school, so it's just something that I started probably back in college. I'm even going to show you guys some pictures because it's hilarious. But when I was back in college, I was a promo girl. I was there with shots of Tuaca and Jaeger, and I've been selling for so long, and it's just I was passionate about it, and now I see what works and I know what will thrive. But first, in order to figure out what you're going to sell online, you have to figure out what your passion is, what are you going to get excited about when you've got 20 problems in front of you and you have no idea what you're going to do. So, any other questions? That's it for today, you guys. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for episode number 3. I hope you learned a ton. I also have the relationship building guide and rapport. That's really useful, really awesome. So we'll put the link below to that and you can check it out on my website. But I have a direct link so you guys can get it, use it. And I'll put the slide notes in there too. And I'll see you next week at 1 o'clock. Have a great day.